We're not saying we have to go raise money first. We're saying first check, first client is our goal as a startup. And I think if that became the norm, a lot of these very, on a certain level, waste of capital companies wouldn't be here. Your dog's name is Tig.
Yeah, that's a good name. He's a shop dog. Ish. Kind of, sometimes.
He's never here.
That's because he doesn't do good with strangers. He doesn't like new people. I
feel special.
He gets social anxiety.
So do I. What the hell?
I'm his emotional support animal.
I love it. I can get you a little vest.
He walks me through the airport. The reason for our journey here today is we're talking about the difference between raising money, raising capital, and revenue. Because I think far too often people conflate the two, especially with startups, where as a startup, you're like, all right, I have an idea, I'm going to raise money, and then blah, 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 blah. And the fact is that, if you are going to raise money, there are good and bad ways to do it. There are good and bad mechanisms depending on where you're at. That could be a million podcasts just about that. But in my opinion, raising money is a tool to get to revenue.
But this also comes up a lot with our incubator clients. Like their answer a lot of times is, oh, we'll just go raise money to build the manufacturing scale. And we're like, no, because we don't know what manufacturing scale we're building to. Like we don't know yet. So raising money gets us where.
And do you need to?
Well, that's our thing. We love traction. Like, I don't like raising money until I already have customers because that gives me leverage in the negotiation with funders. Yeah. And it's always a negotiation. I don't care how good they are. Yeah. They're trying to get more and I'm trying to give less. And somewhere in the middle makes the most sense for all of us. But I mean, people, the media, I mean, the whole sexiness of being an entrepreneur, which has only happened in the last 10 years or so, because when I came out as an entrepreneur, people were like, you don't have a job.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
Borderline homeless, yeah.
Could still be. I kind of live in the shop. I feel good.
Yeah.
Tig's bed is now my bed. Look at that.
Listen, it's a community. It's an entrepreneurial ecosystem in this shop, you know?
But before all the sexiness of entrepreneurship and how everybody can attain it, which is another pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
Though I don't have any. That might be a rant.
You should come on my new segment, T's Pet Peeves.
I might have to, yes. The Bobcast. I'm just going to keep using it. I think people have fallen in love with the raise as being a successful business. And no offense to people raising money. A lot of the companies I see raise a lot of money aren't here a year later because they don't have a business model. They don't have clients and they have no sustainable revenue. So we'd rather try to get that revenue first, even if it's a little amount. I know it's not sexy, right? Once again, are we going for sexy or we're going for longevity? Are we trying to create a real business, a real product? So, I mean, I think that mindset has to go away first. And if you can't find one client, and something InFocus Brands is really focused on, first check, first client. We're not sitting, and we have a VC arm, right? We're not saying we have to go raise money first. We're saying first check, first client is our goal as a startup. And I think if that became the norm, a lot of these very, on a certain level, waste of capital companies wouldn't be here.
Yeah. We were going through and getting pricing for, all right, let's engineer every detail of the suspension system. Well, because of this, this, and this, we have to start from scratch with a new model because there's no models that exist that blah, blah, blah. So we were looking at $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 to just do some of the basic engineering on it. And then it was the engineers that said to me, you know, if you have the ability to just build it, you could build it and then just test it and go from there. And it again comes back to the right resources and the right time for your skill set, for your product, for your business.
There's nothing wrong with the theory of something. I'm going to use my favorite word for the week again.
Yeah.
Deconstructed.
Sure.
Right?
Deconstruct it.
Deconstructing that idea into practical and applicable ways of doing it, and if it matters or makes sense to what you're trying to do. And when we first talked about you trying to raise money, we didn't even know what you were selling.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so raising money on an idea of an idea,
right,
for me, doesn't make any sense. And I know people do it, right? I didn't see the value in knowing your skill sets. I was like, but you have so many of the tools to make it tangible before you go raise money.
Yeah.